Introducing Jocelyn Alejandro Nino, a young cartel assassin with a harrowing tale. Jocelyn's journey commenced like that of many others. Born in the 1990s to a modest family in Tamaulipas, a region in northeastern Mexico. Whether her family had affiliations with local cultures or if economic headship nudged her toward illicit activities remained unclear. Nevertheless, from an early age, Jocelyn became deeply involved with the Gulf cartel. It was during her high school years that she took on the role of an assassin for the cartel, earning her moniker, La Flaca, meaning skinny in English. This epithet stemmed from her petite stature, emphasized by the stark contrast with the formidable firearms she wielded. Within Mexico tradition, La Flaca also carries connotations from the female skeleton saint, Our Lady of Holy Death, often depicted in artwork associated with a popular Day of the Dead festival. One might be inclined to perceive being an assassin at the age of 18 as glamorous or formidable, but the reality is far from it. La Flaca's past was marked by the ruthless directives of her superiors, leading to the loss of numerous lives. Furthermore, life within the cartel is far from glorious. While the exact trajectory of La Flaca's ascent to the role of an assassin remains shrouded in mystery, it's common for young, petite girls like her to be drawn into individuals from impoverished backgrounds, often start their journey within the cartel as lookouts or engage in illegal street work, to endure a cycle of exploitation and abuse before attaining any semblance of authority. The harsh truths of this existence became glaringly apparent in January 2015. On January 5th of that year, a picture of La Flaca surfaced, leaked to Valorport, Tamaulipas, a citizen journalist page dedicated to exposing organized crime activities. The image swiftly circulated on social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter. People were captivated by the juxtaposition of this petite, useful woman with a seemingly friendly smile, adorned with a bulletproof vest and wielding a formidable firearm. Who was she? Did she hold a significant position within the gang, or was she merely a foot soldier? Another striking aspect of the photo that garnered significant attention was its background. Indeed, La Flaca's surrounding bore no resemblance to the opulent villas often associated with Narcos. Is this a stark reality of life within the cartel? And what about the moral toll of taking life if it only leads to a life of poverty? It appears that only a select few at the top enjoy a life of luxury, while the majority of their underlings endure hardship and despair. La Flaca's photograph served as poignant reminder of the grim truth behind Mexican cartels. It resonated with thousands online. This marked the beginning of Jocelyn's downfall. She was a member of the Los Ciclones gang under the leadership of Uncle Eduardo Prado Rodriguez, also known as Clone 7. At that time, they were engaged in a brutal conflict with another gang, Los Metros. By leaking photos of the Ciclones members, Los Metros not only weakened the cartel, but also exposed them, making them vulnerable target for both law enforcement and rival gangs. And La Flaca found herself in the crosshairs. Clone 7 dispatched her to confront Los Metros in Rio Bravo, territory controlled by their adversaries. Each day became a perilous gamble for her, and tragically, her story met a gruesome end. On April 13, 2015, law enforcement officers made a chilling discovery. Jocelyn's dismembered remains were found inside a freezer in a parking lot in Matamoros, Tamaulipas. Throughout the day, authorities uncovered more body parts scattered across the town, some of which were enclosed in plastic bags. La Flaca's identification was made possible by a distinctive tattoo on her arm bearing the word Nino, her family name, which ironically translates to child. It's a tragic irony that this was all the remains of her. Jocelyn met her demise at a tender age, somewhere between her late teens and early 20s. To compound the tragedy, the autopsy revealed evidence of torture inflicted upon her, underscoring the brutality of her demise at the hands of Los Metros, sought to extract information about other members of Los Ciclones from La Flaca. The world of Mexican drug cartel is far from peaceful. Introducing Melissa Margarita Calderon Oida, also known as La China. She commanded the cartel army, known for its extreme violence, shocking not only her soldiers and male colleagues, but also her romantic partners. Melissa Oida was born on August 12, 1984 in Mexico. By the age of 20, she had already charted her path. She aspired to become a cartel leader and was willing to go to any lengths to achieve her goal. In 2005, Melissa entered the realm of Damaso cartel, a faction of the Sinaloa cartel. Despite the predominantly male environment, she proved to be ruthless and ambitious. Undeterred by gender barriers, she wielded aggression when necessary and leveraged her feminine charm to advance through the ranks. By 2008, Lachina had risen to the position of commander of the armed unit, and under her leadership, the crime rate in the area skyrocketed. Her insatiable thirst for blood was so shocking that even the most violent criminals within her gang were taken aback. She orchestrated the killing of law enforcement officers, engaging ex-soldiers through kidnapping, and ordered the gruesome dismemberment of enemies from rival gangs. Lachina and her unit were responsible for at least 178 deaths. As a reward for their successful missions, which often left a trail of bodies, she would lavish her men with large bags of white powder. In 2014, the situation took a dramatic turn for the worse when the leader of the Damasco cartel, El Grande, executed Melissa's boyfriend, Eric. This brutal act served as a stark message to Melissa. Her reign as army commander was at an end. One might assume that the death of her boyfriend would serve as a wake-up call for Melissa, prompting her to reconsider her involvement in cartel activities and return to semblance of normalcy. However, within the ruthless world of cartels, violence reigned supreme. She was determined to exact blood for blood, rallying 300 cartel soldiers to her cause, finding a new cartel named Las Fuertes, alongside her new founder partner, Hector Pedro Camarino Gomez, who adopted the alias El Chino to complement Lachina. Even El Chino found Melissa's penchant for violence excessive. If Lachina was already a brutal and bloodthirsty commander during relatively peaceful times, her actions escalated exponentially during times of open conflict. Every territorial dispute under her command resulted in a bloodbath, and with law enforcement hot on her trail, she was forced to constantly evade capture by moving from town to town. El Chino reached his breaking point witnessing Melissa's extreme violence. It's a remarkable scenario. When a cartel members find their leader's actions too brutal, El Chino made the decision to flee, seeking refuge with the police he believed could provide protection against Lachina and her ruthless cartel. He divulged crucial information about Melissa's whereabouts to the authorities. On September 20, 2015, Lachina's reign of terror came to an end when she was apprehended at the Cabo San Lucas International Airport, attempting to escape the state to spend the remainder of her life behind bars.